So I'm planting this out to be an orchard and fruit orchard.
Nice,
primarily.
very nice.
This has been planted out.
Wow, yeah, some young fruit
These are
trees.
new apple trees here.
Oh, look at that one, that's beautiful.
The big ones were here, but these would have been old varieties that the family probably came over with seeds, or they came over with a little plant or something, because that was really important to people. You go to all these farms and you go, what's that apple called? They go, well, we just call it Grandpa's pie apple.
How old is that apple tree, do you think?
This one, oh, it's got to be 100 years old.
Oh my God,
There's probably more of it. It broke off here.
Look at those apples. They're like perfect. They're like pristine little apples on that tree.
This tree makes the best applesauce on the planet. What I'm planting most of these apples for, there's apples here. I'll take you over the other side. There's about 60 or 70 apples over there. Is for cider. This is asparagus.
Asparagus.
I just planted that. And then there's 3 rows of strawberries down there and another row of asparagus.
Wow, look at these.
So these were planted early spring. After I planted this row, I'm like, I got to plant more. So I ordered more. And 4 weeks later, they showed up and I planted them. So you'll see the difference between the two. You want to let the plant get all the energy the first year. An incredible amount of energy goes into producing fruit and seed. Matter of fact, that first apple tree there, the reason there aren't many more apples on it is it's an old-fashioned tree. It's probably a biennial. It's an every other year fruiter.
So it takes a year.
Yeah, it's like it goes ba-boom, and it gives you tons of apples, and then the next year goes,
yeah,
I'm on vacation.
Taking the year off.
I'll give you a few just to know I'm still alive.
Yeah.
But you really, that's why you replace this whole thing after 3 to 5 years. What I do is I take off all the flowers the first year. That means all that energy goes into root production. And strawberries have what are called runners.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Okay.
look, they're going out.
Yep.
They're running.
And look at this one's already rooted itself in.
Wow.
So it goes out. There's a new strawberry plant. See the little nubs there? Those are roots. I could take that, I could stick it in the ground and cut it and move it.
That's amazing.
And have a new plant. The currant bushes over here, if I take a branch, bend it to the ground, stake it to the ground, it'll root right there.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And then I can cut it off and I have a new plant. Here, these trees are apricots, and then we have peaches, and then we have plums over in this area. I'm going to plant a few more plums and apricots. These are new hardy varieties, and so I'm excited that we can actually have these.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be doing this all organically with no spray or whatever. So the fruit won't be pretty, but the flavor will be incredible. And even with the apricots, if the fruit's not sellable, because it's got dimples and whatever in it, we'll make amazing jams and compotes, syrups and all that kind of stuff.
So you mentioned like resilience. What does kind of resilience look like in Vermont?
Well, so 2 things. We're a very damp climate and getting worse. And apples and a lot of these fruits do not like humidity. Because it promotes fungal disease. So you've got to really be careful about air drainage, giving them space so they can dry out, keeping it clean underneath, a bunch of things that you can do culturally, we call it. Insects and pests are an issue because we're so vibrant here. There's so much going on. It's a challenge to grow fruit. It's a real challenge to grow apples. You notice how like this tree behind you has almost no foliage, and this one here too. That's because by this point in the year, they've been so hammered by the fungus that the leaves start to drop. Fungus, it's everywhere, right? It's not bad. It's the agent that degrades all of the wood
Part of life.
and the cellulose. It's part of life. However, some of it attacks the buds and the leaves and the flowers early on and can really damage your fruit. Sometimes you just live with it. And that's why cider is a good option, because I can still press those apples.
Yeah.
You get amazing juice from them. So, strawberries we've got here for those will be coming on next year. And these stone fruit, we'll probably see a few pieces of fruit next year. And here are some of our other little critters here that, drive us crazy.
Oh,
That'll take them 2 days to get back up there.
Yeah.
So you can do a bunch of things too, which is, you see that hedge there next to the road? That's mostly blackberry. And I'm gonna leave that and continue to prune that because the Japanese beetles love blackberry. If I can give them something to feed on.
Oh, I see. That kind of keeps them off this.
The problem with modern agriculture is you've got one crop in a huge area, and it's basically, you might as well put a big neon sign up going, eat at Joe's. To every critter,
that,
insect, and then you get an infestation. Because the way nature works is that 500-acre field of whatever, strawberries, is considered an infestation as far as Mother Nature is concerned. And she sends in the cleanup crew. So diversity is a key component. Diversity is a sign of health in any biological system. So you want to mimic that in the farm. So that's why we have different things growing. They're alternating. They're not all right next to each other. That'll continue here. We'll be interplanting. I have currant bushes in between the two apple trees. You know, certain things like the currant bushes don't like the apple trees, vice versa. So they may chew one currant bush up here to pieces, but they won't make it to the currant bushes down here because there's an apple tree in between, and they go, oh, I guess
Not
that's
a fan
the
of
end.
that, yeah. You know, when I think orchard, I think of a big field with a bunch of apple trees or something like that. But right here, you know, we have row of tree and then a row of asparagus and then a row of trees and then a row of something else. What is kind of the methodology behind having rows of trees and kind of ground crops?
Okay, so right now it's immature, so it really almost doesn't make sense. It just looks like they're all little things. But this guy is going to get as big as that tree right there. And there's going to be shade underneath it. So I planted currant bushes right here. So we're going to have the semi-shade here, and then the currant bush is low. Everything is in different stories. The strawberries and the asparagus are in the middle. They're very low.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so you got
none of them are
different
trying to compete
canopies.
at the same
Correct.
level.
Gotcha.
But they're using the space that's available.
Yeah.
So our most valuable resource on any farm is the soil. Those are chestnut trees.
Really?
And they will give us nuts. The Japanese beetles do like those. But
What type of chestnut am I?
this is a cross between a Chinese and an American.
Ah, so it has the resistance then.
And it has delicious sweet nuts.
Really? Cool. How long will it take for these to start producing? These seem pretty small.
They're small, but literally they were this big at the beginning of the season.
No way, really?
So, you know, once,
They're growing
once a
fast
tree
then.
gets a head of steam up, yeah, you're talking 4 or 5 feet a year.
Wow,
It
amazing.
really, well, this is just this year's growth, right?
Yeah, wow. They seem rather close to each other. Is
So I did this on
normally how you do
purpose. It's called a nursery, right? I brought them in, they were very small. I put them in here, been keeping them weeded, and now they're really starting to grow. What I'll do is come in here and dig under them and pull them up bare root in the early spring. And then go and plant them out where I want them to be. Otherwise, I'm wasting a whole bunch of space for trees that don't need it. You'll notice underneath this asparagus is clover. There's some clover over there. There's always grass and green on the ground. One of the things about soil that they're actually discovering now, which is really remarkable, is this soil biome, all the critters that live in the soil, is almost identical to our gut biome. This comes from this. So if you're eating food that's lab grown, highly processed, you're not getting any of this.
Wow. I guess that kind of makes sense thinking about it. If your gut
This is our connection to the earth.
Wow.
All right, and the soil is where all nutrition comes from. Right now at the supermarket, tomatoes, most all the berries, 80% of the berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, etc., are grown hydroponically. Sterile environment,
No soil.
no soil, no biome, no soil biome. That's why they look gorgeous, sterile, so no bugs, no disease,
Taste.
but there's zero flavor because
Yeah.
there's no nutrition in them.
Wow.
Those big chunky strawberries.
Yeah, the strawberries like your palm.
Right,
Yeah.
but what do they taste like?
It's like,
Kind of cardboard, right?
Yeah,
they're, a little,
yeah.
they're a little like woody. I had to pinch all the flowers off of these, but of course a few strawberries snuck by. And Christina and I were down here weeding, and we found a strawberry and popped it in our mouth, and it was, it's a religious experience. It really is.
Yeah.
Because that flavor is so intense. And that's also freshness too. If you can pick your fruit off the tree ripe and eat it, you'll be blown away. Most of the fruit we get at the supermarket is picked green, and then they pack it into trucks, and they gas it on the way here, which ripens it. It's not
really?
really
They put a
ripening.
gas that makes the fruit ripen?
Yeah, fruit gives off ethylene, and that's a ripening gas. And it ripens the fruit, but that's after it's picked. It also spoils the fruit. A fruit that ripens on the tree is being ripened by the tree and by the sun, by all of that amazing sugar that comes up from the ground into the fruit, makes the fruit extremely sweet and delicious. You won't get that unless you're getting tree ripened fruit, and you can only get that locally. It's like when you go pick your own apples.
Yeah.
And you eat like way too many on your way home because you can't stop.
Yeah.
As you're picking them, just
Yeah.
Yeah.